So, welcome all and good morning to this session on the secret of unhappy life. Now, you might be understanding and you might be wondering why we are talking about the secret of unhappy life. There are so many people, there are so many trainers out there, there are so many preachers out there who are talking about how to remain happy in our life. And here I'm talking about the secret of unhappy life. Some of you have texted me that is it a spelling mistake or have you chosen a wrong topic for a right audience or something like that. But believe me, it is absolutely not like that. I knew what I wanted to know, and I want to share
जिससे ज्यादा
all
फोटो
these
लगा जिससे
things which I would be sharing with you all. So absolutely
ऑडियो बंद किया मैंने
there is no there is no way that this particular topic is wrong. It is perfectly right topic. So let's start with what I am and who I am. Many of you might be aware who I am and what I do. So my name is Yogesh and I'm here because I love to talk to people on multiple topics. By profession, I am an NLP coach and trainer, MBA graduate, which with a PhD in human resource management, having almost 20 years of experience in the field of management, strategy, and training. My passion is to connect with people, to give them different inputs, different insights, and let them get some or other wow moment in their life. That's the whole reason what I always seek for. So if you want to connect with me, I have just given my mail ID and my website detail. You may log into the website and check the upcoming updates. Also, I would strongly recommend that if you could subscribe my YouTube channel, that is NLP Coach Dr. Yogesh Daudkhane, that would be great, so that all such sessions which I'm going to hold further, you will be a part of it and you will learn so many new things, absolutely brand new things at no cost. That is my mission. I want to reach as many people as possible. So, coming to the topic, this is a photo which I have taken during the jungle safari I did in 2017. 3 years back, I did this particular safari. This was Boar Tiger Reserve, and a wonderful moment it was that all the way it is near Nagpur in Maharashtra, and we were a group of around 20 people, and we went for that particular safari all the way from Pune to Maharashtra, and there were other participants in the team who came from different places in the country. So somebody came from Bangalore, somebody from Delhi, somebody came from some other city, and everybody was here to gather to see tiger, as it is a tiger reserve. Everybody was so very interested that we are going to see some live tigers in front of us, and we could have some photographs and we could have those memories back to the home, and we could show it on the Facebook that this is what we have done. So all night we had a journey. I still remember it was a wonderful journey, and after the journey was over, we reached to that particular tiger reserve, and our trip in this particular jeep, which you could see in the picture, was scheduled in the morning at 11 o'clock. So we got ready, we did our breakfast in the dormitory which were provided by the government, and we were all of us were so very excited that we are going to see something different in our life, and everybody was ready with their cameras, everybody was there ready with a new experience which they are going to encounter, and everybody was excited. The safari began at 11 o'clock with a specific number of jeeps which we hired, and there were so many rules and regulations which they told us that this is what you should do, this is what you is not possible, this, while taking a photograph, what you should avoid, what you should do, and stuff like that. And everybody was so keen to understand what we are talking about. And in all these cases, we were so excited to, meet those tigers. The safari started, and it was around for 1.5 hours, if I'm not wrong. And we were roaming in the jungle. The driver was very excellent driver, and he knew the places where there are tigers, and he was showing us so many animals. We could see so many animals like deers. There were these jungly dogs, and there were so many other animals out there who we could see. But unfortunately, there was no tiger seen anywhere. And now everybody was like becoming, bit restless. Now I'm not getting any tiger, I'm not seeing any tiger, what to do, how to do, and stuff like that. Now in that case, all of a sudden, the person said that now it's time to go back to the camp, because the that particular ride is over. And everybody got upset that we wanted to see tiger but we couldn't see, and stuff like that. And then by the time when we reach back to the camp, we inquired, can we have one more round of this safari? And happily they arranged for us. We paid some extra cost, and then we did another safari in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. And again we were roaming and roaming and roaming. Almost 1.5 hours we were roaming in that particular jungle. But unfortunately, we couldn't see tiger. Apart from tigers, there were so many other animals which we could see, which I had a photograph. uh, this was, I think, this clip I have taken from my Facebook account itself. And then there were some random clicks which were taken. But ultimately we couldn't see a tiger. And then in the evening, of course, not only our group, but there were some other groups from different companies as well, or some individuals who came. And in the evening, when I could see everybody was gathered near that particular area of the campsite, everybody was discussing that why this is happening to us. We, like, I could hear reactions of people that this is not done. I have spent so much of time. I have taken leave from the office just to see the tigers, but this is not happening. There were some kids, teenagers, who were, not happy to see that we are so excited, but we couldn't see the tiger, and stuff like that. Some were, almost about to cry. Some people were so excited and so unhappy that it could be seen on their face, and they were not even ready to take their dinner as well. They said that we are not hungry, we came here for a different purpose. And uh, out of this, what happened, we couldn't see the tiger. And everybody, I was just roaming around, and these kind of conversations, everybody was talking that tomorrow we have to leave this particular camp, and now it is all wastage of time, wastage of money. Everybody was cursing the situation. Now, in this case, what exactly happened? So when I was doing all this analysis, I learned something. And I was sitting at a place,
Chalaga.
and as I was sitting ideally, I could see that there are certain learnings which I could make out of it. And what are those learnings? The learnings are, if you could see on the screen, people have a rule or belief about what had to happen in order for them to feel good or feel happy. So basically, everybody came here with a belief, everybody came here with a rule, a set of rule, that if I could see a tiger, then only I would be happy. Now, apart from tiger, there were so many other things which were fantastically well. The jungle was beautiful. There were so many birds which I could see. There were so many other animals which I have never seen in my life. I enjoyed those. This kind of jeep safari which I had never done in my
Like
lifetime,
एक मिनट टिकट है.
I enjoyed that as well. And now, with all that particular thing, what happened, it's people who were having so many rules, who were having so much of expectation that if I could see tiger in the tiger reserve, then and then only I'm going to be happy, then and then only I'm going to feel good. So it was like a rule which they made that if this happen, then only I will be happy. So my dear friend, that was a very, very important lesson which I learned on that day, that people have got set of rules, and with those rules they are governed. They are governed by the rule that if this happen, then only I will be happy. If this happen, then only I will be satisfied. If this happen, then only I will be successful. If this happen, then only I will feel satisfaction and stuff like that. So is it because of anything else they were unhappy? No, they could not see the tiger. That is one part of the story. But they were unhappy majorly because they have made a rule before coming to the safari that I must see a tiger, and then only I will feel that yes, this is something which is great thing. So my dear friends, let me again tell you that it is not any external environment, but it is our own rules which we have developed over a period of time creates a happiness or unhappiness in all of us. So let me ask you a big question, and I would like to type, if you could answer this question, what has to happen in order for you to feel good or feel happy? Now, for you to feel good or feel happy, what should happen? It could be anything. It could be making $1 million of money. It could be having a nice dish as a dinner. It could be having a good cup of tea, or it could be having a nice conversation with a friend. It could be anything. So, what is that thing which makes you happy, which makes you feel good? If you could type the answer, that would be great. Then we can move ahead. I'm just going to check the chats. Okay, staying with my parents. That is one answer which I got. Any other answer in the group? What should happen so that you feel good? Being home with family. Okay, earning a lot of money. Conversation with friends. Okay, friends company. Positive environment. Okay, a healthy relationship. Okay, enjoying with family. All right, all right. New useful learnings. Perfectly fine. Now, my dear friends, let me share the secret with you. Let me share the secret with you. All this, whatever you are typing or thinking or writing about what has to happen in order for you to feel good or feel happy, these all are your rules. My dear friend, these are all your rules which are making you feel happy if at all these things are completed. And let me share the truth. And the truth is, nothing has to happen in order for you to feel good. You know, you don't have to wait for that particular moment so that you feel good. You don't have to wait for that particular cup of tea, or you don't have to wait for that particular conversation with friend, or you don't have to wait for anything in the world to feel happy. Just the thing is that you need to twist the rule and say that in any particular given situation I would feel happy. The moment you change your rules, we are going to discuss bit in detail in the later part of the discussion. But for now, let me explain that if you are having such set of rules, my dear friends, that would be very dangerous. That would be disastrous. So basically, nothing has to happen. You can feel happy for anything and everything in your life. So for happiness, for excitement, for upliftment, do you have so many rules? And here, if you can read, if your rules are dependent on uncontrollable factors, you will never be happy in your life and you will always experience pain. Now, my dear friends, lockdown is going on. This is again an uncontrollable factor. The moment you are dependent on, the moment lockdown will get over, then only I will be happy. Imagine you are spending so many days, around 50 plus days, with being unhappy, being dissatisfied, because it is an uncontrollable factor. And based on some uncontrollable factor, if you connect your happiness with that particular factor, my dear friends, this factor may or may not work for you all the time. The moment I connect my happiness that if I get a cup of good tea, then only I will be happy. I am putting my happiness to that particular tea. The moment I get a good tea, then only I will feel happy. It means that for me to make happy, the tea is playing a role of a remote control, and I don't want that to happen. For me to get a conversation with friend, that is becoming a controllable or uncontrollable factor. The moment you may call your friend and your friend is busy in some meeting and he doesn't pick up your call, are you going to feel unhappy because of that? Definitely not. Because if at all your rules says that if I talk to my friend on daily basis, then only he is my real friend, again that is a rule. So here I just would like you to go wide in your imagination and check all the past experiences and all the past rules which you had till date. So till date you might be having so many rules that if this happen, then I will assume this. If this happen, then I will assume this. Now, if the factorial is controllable or uncontrollable, it doesn't matter. The moment you decide that in any given situation I will find out happiness, again I'm not talking about a philosophical level, or I'm not talking about from a spiritual level, I'm talking about from the NLP perspective, how your brain and mind functions. People spend their lives understanding how their mobile functions and how the laptop functions and how the washing machine functions. They read manuals after manuals how to unlock the mobile and how to do the stuff like that, and then they spend very little amount of time understanding how their brain functions. So your brain is making you unhappy because you have made so many rules in your life that if this happen, then only I will be happy. These are rules or these are expectations which will never let you be happy, come what may. One more question which I would like to ask, that how many of you truly believe that you are successful, you are happy, or you are satisfied at this moment? If you would like to share, please you may type, or if you simply want to understand this concept, and if you simply want to keep it with you, that is also perfectly fine. So let me check some chats. Okay, some of you are believing that you are successful, you are happy, or you are enjoying your life, or you are satisfied in your life. Then for all of you who are thinking that you are successful, you are happy, or you are satisfied, what must happen for you so that you feel successful, you feel happy, you feel satisfied? What must have happened? There should be something that if this happen, then I'm successful. If I make $1 million of money, I'm successful. If I get that particular big contract, I'm successful. If I get some percentage of marks, then I'm successful, then I'm happy. If I get good food, then I'm happy. Now if you are having so many must, so many shoulds, that if this happens, then I am going to be happy, my dear friends, again you are back to the pavilion. You are having some set of rules. These are the rules which are making you happy, or these are the rules which are making you unhappy. This remind me of one of my program participant. I asked him what, again the same question, what must happen for you to be successful, happy or satisfied, or are you feeling happy or satisfied? And this fellow, he was a general manager of a company, and he said that, Yogesh, I don't feel that I am successful. And then I was like surprised, a person who is working as a GM level, earning salary of half a crore rupees, and having a company car, company accommodation, and every other expenditure is taken care by the organization. In such case, why you are not happy? Why you are not feeling successful? Why you are not feeling satisfied? And this fellow said that, Yogesh, my weight is like 10 kg extra, my BMI is like this, my bank balance currently is like this, I only have 4 flats and I want to have 5 flats, and I don't have any flat in Mumbai and I would like to have a flat in Mumbai. I would like to have my health like this. I would like to get so much of perks. I would like to get so much of additional business in my organization. I want my kids to perform better in their school and colleges. And if all these things happen, then I will feel that I'm successful, I'm happy, I'm satisfied. Now, my dear friends, see so many rules he has listed, that if these things happen, then only I will be successful. In the same seminar, there was another person who was not very successful according to the social norms, because he was simply working as a supervisor in one of the small company, earning around just 10,000 rupees. Also, he was a bit overweight, and he was not having that much of financial freedom. I asked him, do you feel happy and satisfied? And then he said that, yes, I am totally successful, I am totally happy, I am totally satisfied. And I was like, oh my god, here a person, I knew him because he already told his story to me before the training session began. And then I knew that this fellow is earning just 10-15,000 a month and still feeling that he's satisfied, he's successful. And then I asked him, why, like, what must happen for you to be successful, or what is your rule? I never asked him upfrontly what is your rule of success and stuff like that, but I asked him in an indirect manner, like, can you tell me what is your rule of becoming successful? And then he said that, uh, if possible, yes, I also would like to share this with you all. If possible, if you can stand up right now, if possible. Again, if you are doing any other task which by which you cannot stand up, forget about it. But what answer he gave me, I would like to give it to you in the same manner. So if everybody can stand up, that would be really great. And now I am assuming that you all are standing. Just look down and see your feet. Your feet are above the ground, everybody. I hope there is no ghost in this particular Zoom meeting. And just sit down. Now, if you can feel and if you can see that your feet are above the ground, you are alive. You are not 6 feet down the ground, buried. You are successful. And that is the answer which he gave me. And it was like a shock and surprise for almost many of the participants, that how such a simple thing he could enjoy, that every day above the ground is success for me. It means that I am alive and I am just enjoying my life. I am above the ground, I am not buried down. So it was his simple rule of successful. Now everybody could have a different rule, but let me tell you, my dear friends, if the rules are simple, the life will be simple. If you have got so many complicated rules, then you always will be burdened by those rules to be successful, and in most of the cases it would be very difficult for you to achieve something what we call as success. Many a times many a times we feel disconnected, we have got arguments, we have got conflicts with many of the people. It could be husband wife, it could be a boss and colleague, or it could be two people, it could be something like that. Now in that case, what happen is, let me tell you, are you have you experienced that you are upset with somebody because he or she doesn't perform well? There are so many people who are working professional over here. Have you seen your boss becoming upset, or you becoming upset on your subordinate or on your colleague because he or she didn't did that particular task well? Or have you anytime became upset with your mother or with your wife that the food which is cooked today is having an extra amount of salt and that particular sabji is salty? And then you start having a discussion or a conflict kind of situation wherein you express your unhappiness with a specific thing, that it is, this particular sabji is not good because it is having an extra salt and I'm upset with it. And then you start fighting with your wife, and then you start saying some words that you don't know how to cook and stuff like that. Or a wife is yelling at husband that every time you keep this towel here, or you keep your stuff anywhere, and then you ask me where the stuff is lying, and then I have to find it out for you. And then the wife is again upset, wife is again unhappy with the husband. These things most of the times happen. Or have you experienced you are upset with your kids, that you are asking them to do some studies, and they are, instead of doing study, they are doing something else, they are engaging them their time in some different activities? So have you ever experienced that kind of thing? You might have experienced. Let me tell you, my dear friends, behind every emotional upset, behind every such kind of conflict, there is nothing but your rule upset. It is not you are unhappy with that particular person. It is not like that you are not satisfied with the performance of your subordinate. It is your rule which is making you emotionally upset. It is your rule which says that every single day when I eat a vegetable, it should be perfectly fine. That could be your rule. Perfect. But if at all, in once or twice in a month, if there is a little bit extra salt, little bit extra masala, and then the taste is not up to the mark, that is upsetting your rule, because it is your rule. Again, I'm making you understand, it is your rule which say that every single day the sabji should be perfectly fine. It is your rule that the next person should behave in a specific manner. It is your rule that your employee should perform in this particular fashion. My dear friends, this is just a rule upset. The moment you have got long list of rules, again I would like to say my favorite statement: connect your own dots. Whatever I am sharing through this media or during my sessions, some of my participants are here, they know this is my favorite statement: connect your own dots. Whatever I am trying to say, I am explaining, connect with your own experiences, connect with your own life, and you will get some or other answers. NLP basically is a context free thing. I don't have to ask you about what is your rule and are you upset with that particular rule. I'm just giving you an open platform, and I'm just asking you to connect your own dots. The moment you connect your own dots, you will get lots and lots of insights which you might have never thought of. So behind every emotional aspect, there is a rule upset. You are upset with the rule, you are not happy with the rule, and that is the reason of you becoming upset because somebody broke your rule. Your rule is every single time when I come home, the tea should be ready. Or as a wife, your rule could be your husband should behave in this particular manner. That could be your rule. And the moment the husband is not talking to you, but he is reading a newspaper, you become upset. You become upset because you are talking about an uncontrollable factor. A husband reading newspaper may not be in your control, and that is the reason you become like restless, you become like helpless. And it is your rule which say that every single time whenever husband comes and whenever he is drinking a cup of tea, he should talk to me. And husband rule could be every time when I drink a cup of tea, I should read a newspaper and enjoy that. Now see these two different personalities staying together, and then they are having a different rule upset, different rules, and they are not in a position to understand what is going wrong. Have I disturbed you? The husband might be asking, have I disturbed you? No, I'm just keeping quiet, reading a newspaper. What is your problem? And the wife might have a different rule. We say that, what is your problem? Why don't you come to kitchen and talk to me? Now, see, understand the dynamics. Both the parties are having their own set of rules. And with their own set of rules, it becomes very difficult for them to understand why these things are happening. So make sure you are having, or you are at least aware about your own rules. If the rules are good or bad, we are going to see in the next part. Almost this meeting is going to over by just next 3 minutes, and we are going to log in with the same ID and same password. Again, I'm saying, with the same ID and same password, I'm going to log in after 3 minutes, and then we start the remaining part of the meeting. In the remaining part, what I'm going to share and explain is the situation which currently we have seen, a husband and wife when they are discussing and when they are fighting, or a boss and employee when they are discussing and then they are fighting about their own rule upset. How to resolve that issue, how to resolve a issue of rule upset everywhere, anytime. If you are interested to know, that would be really great. Also, I'm going to share with you all a story of Tina. Tina story again, a small child, and how this particular Tina story is associated with all of us. We are going to see that, we are going to understand that, and then also we are going to understand what I should do so that my rules are not going to get upset. How I can have a wonderful, beautiful relation with my husband, with my wife, with my subordinate, with my boss, with my parents, with my kids, with understanding the concept of this particular rules. So I would be more than happy if you join the next meeting immediately after this with the same user ID and same password. In the meantime, I just would like to see the chats. All right. So we were discussing about the story of Tina. In the last, I was discussing about, I'm going to share a small story with you all. And then also we are going to understand the further things about this particular rule upset of unhappy life. The story of Tina somehow goes like this. I'll just mute all. So this incident happened, I think, a few months back. I think 6 or 8 months back, when I visited my friend, and he's having this wonderful daughter Tina, and she was playing in her room. And then I asked her, like, Tina, what you're doing? And then she said, Uncle, I'm playing and I'm having so many toys, and Papa gave me this new toy last week and I'm so happy and stuff like that. And then always I was surprised, and always I used to be very, keen to see that Tina is such a nice girl. She used to put all her things, including her mm, toys, including her books, including her school stuff, including her sandals and including her dresses and including all her material in a very, very organized manner. Everything was absolutely, absolutely perfectly organized. And that was her way of working. So that day I asked Tina, like, Tina, every time you organize all these things, it is really good. But what if I took her book and I kept the book upside down? Is this okay if I keep this book like this upside down? She said, no, no, uncle, this would make everything messy. Then I said that now if I pick up this particular pencil from this particular pencil stand and keep it on the table, she said, no, no, that also will make it messy. Every time, she was complaining, every time Papa wants to get some pencil or something from my stuff, he just get it and never keep it on the place back. Every time my mother wants to have some sketch pen, she will take it and then she will keep it somewhere else. And both of them are making all my stuff like messy. I said, then what should happen? And she said, no, everything should be in perfect place. Everything should be in a perfect place. We can't have messy things like this. I don't like it. Now, that was Tina, a small girl, 10 years old, and perfectly fine. I also would like to use a generalization which we talk in NLP, that girls are more, aware about all these things, and they are always fond of keeping things neat and clean. And this could be perfectly fine for her, but out of that, as I would like to connect this dot with our own story, that what we are doing, we are also having so many rules in our life, we are also having so many stuff in our life which by which we feel bad, and then there are very few ways by which we feel good. So here the slide of one of the nice slide in this presentation I like. Many of us have created numerous ways to feel bad and very few ways to feel good. So what is your favorite way of feeling bad? Somebody is not keeping the sandal in a nice place, you feel bad. Somebody is driving rash, you feel bad. Somebody is driving very slow, you feel bad. Somebody is doing some comedy on the TV and you don't like and you feel bad. Somebody is watching an action movie and you feel like, what, this kind of action movies, I don't like it, and you feel bad. Somebody is watching a romantic movie and you feel like this is all bullshit, you feel bad. Now, my dear friends, check your own ways. What is your favorite way of feeling bad? And what is your way of feeling good? Do you have 100 ways of feel good? And if you are having 100 ways of feel good, let me bet you might be having 10,000 ways of feeling bad. And that is what we are always programming our mind. That if this happen, I am not going to feel okay. And for every shortest and every smallest thing, we tend to feel bad. Just check, connect your own dots. Again, I would say connect your own dots. देखिए अपने आप को, देखिए अपने आपकी खुद की जिंदगी को, how you are feeling bad on smallest things, how you are feeling unhappy on smallest things. And on contrary, I would like you to remember or see a child who is having numerous ways of feeling good. According to scientists, a small child laughs 700 times a day. 700 times a day a child laughs. What is our ratio? Have you ever noticed? Or other way around, to complete 700 laughters, how many days or weeks or months you will have to pass on so that you will make 700, which a small kid is making in a day. Because a kid is having numerous ways to feel good, numerous ways to feel happy, and we have got on the exactly contrary. We have got numerous ways to feel bad. Something happened the way I don't want to happen, and I feel bad. I feel unhappy. So, my dear friends, check your own rules. As Tina is having numerous ways that if the pencil is like this, I am going to feel unhappy. I am going to be upset. If the sketch pen is like this, I am going to feel unhappy. If somebody keeps my book like upside down, I am going to feel unhappy. And I am going to feel happy only when all the things are in right place. My dear friends, are we also living the same life like Tina? Are we also having a long list that if this happen, then only I'm going to feel good? Have you programmed your mind in that particular fashion that if this happen, then and then only I'm going to feel good? It is absolutely not like that. You may have numerous ways to feel good, and you may reduce the number of ways to feel bad as well. So going ahead, we are talking about so many rules since morning. Are there any good rules and bad rules? So my dear friends, let me explain you that there is no concept as good rule or bad rule. There are only two rules. That is the first rule, which is empowering, and the second one, which is disempowering. We all are having rules, and that is going to be a part and parcel of our day-to-day life. That is perfectly fine. But is my rule empowering me, or is my rule disempowering me? That is the choice, and that is where your destiny will shape. If your rule says that every single day I should exercise at least for 15 minutes, is that an empowering rule or disempowering? Definitely that is an empowering rule, because you are going to get some empowerment, you are going to get some benefit. If your rule says that every single day I should meditate at least for 10 minutes, empowering rule. If your rule says that every single day I should laugh at least for 10 times, empowering rule. But the moment you have a rule that whenever I talk to people, people should respect me, disempowering rule. Why would they respect you? And why would they respect you all the time? They may not. Every time I sit, everybody must listen to me. Every time I speak, everybody must listen to me. Disempowering rule. That may not give you empowerment, because somebody might not listen to you and you feel bad. Everything should happen in my life as I plan. Could be disempowering rule. There is no excitement. The moment every moment of the life is planned, my dear friend, that would be too much of burden. Too much of burden, because you are having a disempowering rule. Every time I eat vegetable, it should be in perfect test. If it is not perfect, I will shout at my wife that you don't know how to cook vegetable. Disempowering rule, my dear friends, disempowering rule. So there is no good rule, there is no bad rule. It is only the rule which either give you empowerment, which either give you positivity, which either elevate your life, which either uplift your life, or there are certain rules which will demotivate if not fulfill, which will make you unsatisfied if not fulfill, which will make you feel bad if not fulfill. Those all are disempowering rules. Now, the task for the day is, whenever you get time today itself, I would recommend write down all your rules, what all rules you are following in your own life. And initially, just write down all the rules and then write down E or D in front of them. E for empowering and D for disempowering. Which kind of rule are we following The moment you will understand that I am having so many disempowering rules, can I change it? Yes, we definitely can change it. Make the opposite one, and then that would be perfectly fine. Take simple example, every single time I have a breakfast or lunch or dinner, it should be perfectly fine. That could be a disempowering rule, because it is a human error which could happen, and there could be a extra amount of salt or less amount of pepper could fall in the sabji, and the taste would not be as good as you wanted. So can we make a rule, whatever food is coming my way, I'm going to enjoy it. Even if it is a salty, that is perfectly fine. Or is it every day it is a salty? No, it could happen just once or twice in a month, or once in a 2 months, or once in a 6 month. I don't know. But the moment you change your rule that whatever is coming to my way, I'm going to eat it happily. Whatever is going to come in my way, I'm going to give a different perspective to it. I'm going to do a reframing. In NLP, we talk a lot of context reframing and content reframing. Now, as to give you simple example, most of the people were saying that we are stuck up in a home. That could be reframed as we are safe in a home. The situation is not going to change, but the moment you see that I am safe in my own home, things changes. But the moment you feel that I am stuck up in my home, things again are totally different. So activity for today, take your notebook, write down all the rules which are empowering or disempowering. Initially write down all the rules, and later on think whether they are empowering or disempowering, and note it down. After that, if you want me to help you, again reach out to me. I'm there to help you. Drop a mail or call me. I'm there to give you further guidance. So going ahead, very important in relationship. Now here I'm not talking about relationship as a husband and wife, or I'm not talking about a relationship between any specific relation. It could be anybody you are having a relation. It could be your customer, it could be your boss, it could be your subordinate, it could be your superior, it could be anybody. Many a times it is based on assumption. It is based on assumption that we assume that you are going to do like this. Why are we living a life of assumption? If you are having a specific rule, don't assume that the next person knows that rule. Just again connect your own dots. Have you upset with somebody in some point of time? And have you noticed what could be the reason? The reason is the person has not behaved the way he should behave according to you. Have you ever told him what are your rules? You may have never told him. I remember one of my friend who called me for dinner, and then he made a wonderful dish, multiple dishes he created. He and his wife took a lot of efforts to make many dishes, and they invited me for dinner. And as I was also excited to go to his place, I went, and then to my surprise, whatever he was all made up of chicken and mutton. He made chicken biryani, and he made some mutton snacks, and he made some other stuff made up of chicken and thing like that. And it was fantastic dishes. I'm not denying that those dishes were bad or something like that. They were absolutely brilliant dishes. But the mistake was he assumed that I would love to eat non-veg. He never think, or he was not aware that I am a vegetarian person. Now this is what assumption makes. So all your effort goes into when, because you created assumption that the next person would like the same dish which you like. May not. It is your assumption. It is better to make it clear. Or it could be my fault that I should have told him that, boss, I'm coming to your home, prepare anything in the world which is veg. I am a vegetarian. So I also assume that he might know that I am a vegetarian, and he assumed that I might like something spicy, something non-veg, and that is why he created a non-veg dish. Now, based on this assumption, both the parties are like having a lose-lose situation. So whenever you are having rules for your life, and when specifically you are dealing with somebody, make sure you communicate your rule. You tell, I am coming for dinner, but I am a vegetarian, prepare vegetarian. Things are very easy. Or as a boss, you communicate your rule that I love everybody should stay back till 7 o'clock every single day. That could be your rule. Don't assume that everybody knows your rule. Don't assume that people are doing according to you. They don't know. They are no mind readers. They are not mind readers. Nobody is a mind reader. People can't read your mind, so they will assume, and what they will assume may not be right. And I remember one of my former boss, when I was working in corporate, he explained me this particular word in a very, very beautiful manner. uh, there are so many people out here, and with your kind permission, I would like to explain the rule, or explain this particular word in the same fashion which my boss explained me. I would say sorry initially if you may feel hurt about it, but that is how he explained me, and it stick to my head till today. This happened 20 years back, and what he told me was, Yogesh, whenever you make any assumption, or whenever you assume, what you make is you make ass of you and me. So assume is ass of you and me, and that was his blunt language. But I understood the word in a very, very perfect manner. It stick to me right today as well. So whenever we are not communicating our rules, and whenever we are putting it as an assumption, we are creating as of you and me. So my dear friends, don't do that. Whenever you are having such rules, please communicate properly. Now going ahead, I lot many people are reading these wonderful quotes and stuff like that. We are so confused our own self. Let me give you some example, and then you might back my statement. You might have heard this statement: absence makes the herd grow fonder. Isn't it? As somebody is absent, somebody is away from you, you feel that, oh, I should meet him or her, specifically a newly married couple. And on the contrary, there is something known as out of sight, out of mind. Now, my dear friends, which one is right? Question. A second statement: you can't teach an old dog new trick. Many of us know it, that we can't teach an old dog new trick. So if it is an old dog, if you have become old, I can't teach you something new. And the next statement says that it's never too late to learn. Now, which one of these is true? The third statement, we say that the grass is always greener on the other side. And here we also see that there is no place like home. Another statement, look before you leap. And here we say, he who hesitates is a loser. Now, my dear friends, you all must have heard some of these statements, or all of these statements, and all these are kind of rules, and these rules are exactly opposite to each other. Now, which rule to follow? Again, a big question. So it is always very important to be aware, to be mindful about understanding what are our own rules. If you are a person who is looking before you leap, you will have a different set of lifestyle, because every time you will be in a safe zone. Whereas a person, he who hesitate is a loser, and you just want to cross the chasm, you will just take a leap. You are in a different zone. So whenever we are having such kind of rules in our own life, it is always important that we should be aware, we should be mindful about our own rules. So that was the rule, and that was the secret of unhappy life, that we should have our own rules, and we should know what these rules are, and instead of disempowering, we should have all empowering rules. So that's it from my side for the day. If you are having any question, I would be more than happy to answer.